Hello, students. Welcome to the next round of doubt clearing session. And in today's video, we will be discussing the case between Relaxo Footwears and Aqualite Industries. Now, basically, this case also is about the alleged industrial design infringement. And now we will see whether, with the development of the case and with the literature what is given in your case study, we will decide and we will try to reach to the point wherein we will try to gauge whether the alleged this matter or the alleged contention what has been put by the plaintiff was maintainable or not, and who won the case, or towards whom the basically the case was driven, right? So in this, it is the case of the plaintiff that the plaintiff began as a small enterprise in the year 1976. It was incorporated in 1984. It is stated that beginning from manufacturing हवाई चप्पल, हवाई स्लीपर्स, हवाई चप्पल का आपको ये पता होगा कि कई बार इसका इंस्टाग्राम पे, यूट्यूब में और इवन जनरल बोलचाल भाषा में भी, लाइक व्हेन वी pass the jokes in relation to the मार what we have got in our childhood, तो हम कहते हैं कि मम्मी की एक हवाई चप्पल उड़ के आ रही है, या हमने कुछ मजाक किया एंड हवाई चप्पल केम फ्रॉम बिहाइंड. सो दीज हवाई स्लीपर्स I mean were the brainchild of the plaintiff. जो हवाई स्लीपर्स पहली बार जब बनाई गई तो वो यहीं से आई थी, तो ये आपको ऐसे ही पता होना चाहिए. The plaintiff, through sheer commitment, has grown into a large-scale enterprise. It is further stated that from a modest sale figure of 10 lakh in 1977, the turnover of the plaintiff grew up to rupees 2,400 crore last year. It is stated that the plaintiff manufactures over 6 lakh pairs of footwear per day and 18 crore pairs per year, and has emerged as the largest footwear producer as far as India is concerned. And not only India, in fact, the footwears are also exported. Are also sold to other territories like UAE, like Australia, Bahrain, and so forth. So you will get the reference of these export to the other countries being made in the further part of the paragraphs, and the as and when the development of the case study will happen. So the plaintiff products are marketed under various distinctive trademark labels and with a unique getup and trade dress, including the house mark, Relaxo, and various product specific brands like Bahamas, Flight, Spark, Schoolmate, etc. And let me tell you one thing, the footwear what I use in my office. So what I wear when I come from home to office is a different footwear, but Bahamas and Relaxo के brand के अंदर बनने वाले Bahamas के footwear is super good, super duper good. So I have 3 pairs, out of which one is Bahamas only. Such a beautiful and relaxing chappals, pair of slippers I have. So Bahamas is actually a brand which is used by many, even Flight as well. बहुत अच्छे simple brands हैं, and simple shape and designs के अच्छे products हैं, अच्छे slippers हैं, right? तो जैसे कहीं पे कुछ मिट्टी विट्टी हो रही है, आप इसको आराम से पहन सकते हो. यू कैन बी अश्योर्ड कि ये खराब नहीं होंगे, राइट, इवन इन द रेनी सीजन्स. It is urged that the present suit pertains to intellectual property rights of the plaintiff in the design and or overall trade dress getup of certain footwear products. The defendant is said to have unlawfully imitated. The defendant is said to have that they have unlawfully, they didn't contend it to do, but they have unlawfully imitated and pirated the said design trade dress of the plaintiff in the said products. It is a submission of the plaintiff that the get-up dress, trade dress design of the suit products are inherently distinctive, arbitrary, and fanciful, and having no commonplace existence for or connection with any existing products, footwear. It is stated that products of plaintiff are not only sold in India but also are exported to various countries like UAE, Bahrain, and Australia, like we have discussed at the start of the lecture. It is stated that plaintiff in February 2021 received information from their market sources about availability of certain look-alikes. Look-alikes मतलब वैसे ही दिखने वाले of the plaintiff suit products being sold in the markets of Delhi. The plaintiff, Delhi किस नाम का दिल्ली है? दिल तो है ही नहीं किसी के पास, खाली नहीं बोला गया है. बहुत सारे ऐसे प्रोडक्ट्स हैं. There are n number of products which are copied, and you will not be able to distinguish कि ओरिजिनल कौन सा है और कॉपी कौन सा है. The plaintiff was shocked to see that the products were slavish replicas of the plaintiff's suit products, copying the unique and distinctive elements of the plaintiff products. It is urged that a mere perusal मतलब होता है mere checking, perusal मतलब होता है checking, to go into the deeper level as far as any particular concept, product, or anything is concerned for that matter, of the impugned products of the defendant would reveal that the defendant has deliberately and fraudulently imitated the plaintiff's product. The defendant is also pirating the trade dress of the plaintiff's product with malafide matlab with bad intention and fraudulent intentions of encashing on the hard earned goodwill. अभी यहाँ पे मैम whether there is any direct damage, no, I'm not talking about the direct damage, but undoubtedly there is an indirect damage to the goodwill, because if I am buying a chappal or a sleeper of Bahamas, or for that matter flight, and if that doesn't work good because of it being the replica or the copy of the original, but I am buying that product assuming कि ये तो क्या है अपना ओरिजिनल है, मैंने उसको क्यों खरीदा, थिंकिंग दैट इट इज एन ओरिजिनल कॉपी, बट वो ओरिजिनल थी क्या, नहीं, एंड हेंस फ्रॉम नेक्स्ट टाइम आई विल थिंक दिस विल कम टू माई माइंड कि यार बहामास और फ्लाइट की शायद ये जो स्लीपर्स हैं ये अच्छी नहीं है. Now this is a damage done to the goodwill, reputation and success enjoyed by the plaintiff. Issue is whether the defendant is guilty of having copied the design of the plaintiff. So now moving ahead, one important point, the statement which is given to you here, ये जो statement आपको दिया हुआ है, this is not from this same case law, rather this statement, the first paragraph what is given to you, corresponds to the case law of Jason Industries and Others versus Crown Craft India Private Limited. So you can ignore this. ठीक है, ये गलती से यहाँ आ गया है, टाइपोग्राफिकल एरर हो सकती है. हमारे लिए what is relevant to us, as noted by the division bench, it is true that in case of footwear for novelty, footwear manufacturers have very little flexibility in creating new designs. क्या ही बना लोगे चप्पल में, ऐसा नया क्या ही कर लोगे. नॉवेल्टी हियर मीन्स नॉवेल्टी इन रिलेशन टू द डिजाइंस व्हाट द मैन्युफैक्चरर्स आर ट्राइंग टू ब्रिंग इन और आर ट्राइंग टू come up with, but there is a very less chance in the footwear category to come up with extreme newness in the footwear designs. यार दो स्ट्रैप होंगे, ऐसे स्ट्रैप्स होंगे. Now there can be some changes. I mean there can be multiple varieties, but the basic structure, जिसको हम ढांचा कहते हैं, the basic structure has to remain the same. भाई एक फ्लैट प्लेटफॉर्म जैसा बेस होगा और उसके ऊपर कुछ स्ट्रैप्स लगे होंगे. नाउ द स्ट्रैप्स का अरेंजमेंट कैन बी मेड इन अ डिफरेंट मैनर एंड हेंस द नॉवेल्टी कैन बी ब्रॉट इन द restricted sense only. But as rightly pointed out by the learned counsel for the plaintiff, it cannot be said that the Designs Act 2000 does not apply to footwear. The defendant has relied upon the design to claim prior use of the plaintiff's design. Defendant have also relied upon the following designs in support of its contention of prior usage in the market. So what defendants contended, that these type of designs were already existing in the market. I mean, before the priority date, before the date when they have got the registration or they have filed for the registration, even before that, such type of similar designs were already in place as far as our territory is concerned. As pointed out by the learned counsel for the plaintiff, is not known as to when the above footwears were launched. The documents do not mention the date when they were specifically launched or published. In fact, one of the documents states on the top, new arrival. Hence, at this stage, the plea of the defendant of prior art cannot be accepted. So, जब आप किसी चीज को कह रहे हो new arrival means that it is something new to the market. So, claiming the priority date and new arrival are altogether contradictory statements put forward by the defendant. A closer visual look shows that prima facie the nature of the design is quite different when compared to that of the plaintiff. But the claim of the defendants then that the design of the plaintiff lack originality or there being existence of prior art are issues which would require better examination and would be considered after evidence has been laid. At this stage, the said pleas of the defendant prima facie cannot be accepted. The plaintiff has made out a prima facie case. Balance of convenience is in favor of the plaintiff and against the defendant. The defendant, its directors, etc. are restrained from using the said registered designs of the plaintiff for suit product number 1 BHG 136 and suit product number 2 BHG 137 or any other design that is deceptively similar. Deceptively similar means which is uh, very closely similar to the design or product that is made by the plaintiff. So here the entire case is about the claims what have been put by the plaintiff or have been put forward by the plaintiff, that back in the year 1976, when for the very first time this company or the person who has come up with this brainchild, the uniqueness in the design of the footwears. Now, because he is someone who should be credited with the fact, or who should be given a due credit for this in this regard, that he actually has the priority and has the real ownership with as far as these type of designs are concerned, which he has made in the field of footwears. Undoubtedly, Designs Act is also and will always be applicable on the footwears as far as today's laws are concerned. But and undoubtedly, there is one contention that no newness can be brought in the footwear. But undoubtedly, Designs Act is equally applicable in on the footwear sector as well. And hence, because of the existence of this fact, and even the defendants failing to prove and giving contradictory statement कि ये तो पहले से चला आ रहा है, and they are again coming up with the contention that this is new arrival. Now, these type of situations forces anybody to believe that the defendant's contention is wrong, and the defendant should be prevented from copying the design of the what has been the brainchild of the plaintiff. That's all for this particular case study. We'll see you in the next lecture with the new case law. And just make sure that you cut this point of Jason Industries. Undoubtedly, as far as industrial design is concerned, this can also be referred to as the case law, because in this particular case also same type of claim was made by the plaintiff. And even if you go towards this Whirlpool India Limited and Videocon Industries Limited, this case law also goes with the same contention what we have studied in the GlaxoSmithKline. Now, in this case also, this Whirlpool India and Videocon Industries, just merely by looking at the washing machine, nobody can understand the difference, that how the two machines are working. भाई देखने से कैसे पता चलेगा? भाई the body type and everything is same, and this was the contention put forward by Whirlpool, that the machines, the washing machines, what Videocon is making is similar, deceptively similar, and very closely common, and is same as that manufactured by Whirlpool India. The contention involved here is whether as a matter of law a suit for infringement can lie against the defendant, and whether was there any infringement or passing off. So it was, therefore I will just read the judgment part, because rest all the case, the remaining portion of the case is same as what we have studied in another industrial designs case as well. It was therefore submitted that if washing machines are purchased after demonstration, there is no question of there being any deception and oblique or confusion, since this would automatically be dispelled as part of the demonstration, and the purchaser would therefore know what actually he was purchasing. By a demonstration hota, so he would have got the point that whether there is any distinctiveness in the products manufactured by two companies. The plaintiff has only admitted that in certain cases demonstrations may in fact be given, but the fact by itself is not dispositive of there being no possibility of deception or confusion. The plaintiff has never admitted the fact that all washing machines are only sold by or through demonstrations route, and these demonstrations wholly exclude the possibility of deception. In fact, as stated above, to a layman or ordinary potential customer, lay मतलब यहाँ पे layman है, to a layman, to a new person or ordinary potential customer who has an imperfect or hazy recollection, हल्का फुल्का सा भी अगर उसको idea है, and who associates or identifies the plaintiff's washing machine with reference to his distinctive and novel design, there is every likelihood that he or she will attend such demonstration in the belief that the product being shown or demonstrated in the plaintiff's product and purchase the same under this misconception. Hence, the factum of demonstration in no way excludes the possibility of passing off. So hence, because this is ultimately proved that a person of ordinary prudence, if anything is new to him, then obviously he would require the demonstration, and he will buy the product only after the demonstration being displayed to him or being given to him, or the demo being given to him, so that he can be very sure of what he is actually buying. One more important point I would like to The defendant's product, defendant here is Videocon. The defendant's product is almost identical in shape and configuration pattern as that of the plaintiff. In so far as identity of shape and appearance are concerned, the two are almost identical. मतलब machine का design देखने में बिल्कुल same है. Again, as set out earlier, the court has had occasion to see both the products in question which were brought to court, and therefore, insofar as whether the two were deceptively similar, the test is what appeals to the eyes of the judge. इसके पहले वाले केस में भी, in this case also GlaxoSmithKline में भी, we have studied the same point that mere trade variations का point नहीं है. What we can see through our eyes, भैया same brush, same टाइप के zigzag उसके साथ बन रहे हैं, कर्व्स के साथ बन रहे हैं, then a person who is merely looking at the product can easily identify, हाँ ठीक है सेम टाइप के ब्रश है कर्व्स के साथ वाले zigzag पैटर्न के, राइट. कहाँ गया, हाँ this point. The first impression has to be of a person with average intelligence और एंड ऑब्लिक और इम्परफेक्ट रिकलेक्शन. भाई जिस व्यक्ति का को इम्परफेक्ट रिकलेक्शन जिसने पहली मशीन देखी थी एंड द पर्सन हु इज लुकिंग एट दिस मशीन, उसको एक स्लाइट रिकलेक्शन है, एक इम्परफेक्ट रिकलेक्शन है, एंड एक एवरेज इंटेलिजेंस का पर्सन है हु डजंट रिमेंबर द थिंग्स व्हाट ही हैज सीन इन द पास्ट और द थिंग्स व्हाट और दिस टाइप ऑफ मशीन व्हाट ही मस्ट हैव सीन इन द पास्ट. उसको याद नहीं है कि वो मशीन अब कैसी थी. The fact that substantial goodwill and reputation in the plaintiff machine's distinctive shape and getup and oblique or color scheme and oblique or overall appearance cannot be disputed. As already I stated above, in the period of 2 years since the plaintiff launched the machine till the filing of the suit, the plaintiff sold more than 308,152, which means 3,08,152 pieces, and enjoyed aggregate sales of 308 crores. Consequently, this is sufficient to constitute actionable goodwill and oblique or reputation in so far as the plaintiff product is concerned. भाई बहुत ज्यादा उससे गुडविल भी कमा ली एंड बहुत सारा पैसा भी उस प्रोडक्ट से बना लिया. The court having reached the finding that a defendant product is an obvious imitation of the plaintiff design for the stated facts and reasons, I am also prima facie in agreement with the plaintiff that the defendant's product is a fraudulent imitation of the plaintiff design. Now again the same point as that of the GlaxoSmithKline, that if you are just imitating the product design, so a person of ordinary prudence without taking the demonstration will be able to make an opinion कि ये दो machines बिल्कुल same है until and unless he takes the demonstration of the same. And then finally, the defense attributing features of the plaintiff design to functional requirement also cannot be accepted. This is evident from a bare perusal of the plaintiff's registered designs as correctly submitted on behalf of the plaintiff. The plaintiff has not sought any monopoly in any function or feature and oblique or element. Again, the contention that the plaintiff doesn't have any type of monopoly as far as design is concerned or any particular element of the product is concerned. As is evident from the plaintiff registered design, the novelty that is claimed by the plaintiff is regarding the shape and configuration of the washing machine. That is the shape and configuration of the machine as a whole and not in an individual context. The functional elements of a washing machine are inside the washing machine, the drums and oblique or the apparatus which is used for washing and drying clothes. The shape of the outer receptacle inside within which the washer and dryer units are contained is governed by aesthetic consideration. तो भाई मशीन का टेक्निकल what is unique with the machine के साथ जो एलिमेंट जुड़ा होता है that is the technical superiority which the machine has and less to do with the outer or the aesthetic vision or the aesthetic constitution or structure of the machine per se. Every semi-auto washing machine has a washer and a dryer and a set of buttons or knobs which operate both a dryer as well as washer. As we all know, हम सभी के घर में एक टाइम में वीडियोकॉन की मशीन हुआ करती थी, working with the same working on the same type of grounds what is contended by the plaintiff, and hence anybody of general prudence, any person of of normal intelligence may easily detect the difference between the two machines, because obviously whenever they are buying the machine or buying or investing a good amount in buying such type of machines, at that time buying an automatic or a semi-automatic machine for that matter was a big deal, बहुत बड़ा एक luxury का part हुआ करता था, and the person will not do such a purchase without taking a demo, and after taking the demo he will be quite sure about the distinctiveness between the two products that is sold by Whirlpool and Videocon Industries. And let me tell you one thing, I did my internship from Videocon Industries only. I was a trainee there, and after looking at this case, I mean, I became a little bit nostalgic as well, because my complete CS training and all the drafting thing, what I know today, is because of the trainers who have taught me that how we should draft the resolutions, and somehow they have made sure that they make me expert in, expert to nahi bol sakte kabhi bhi aap, but they made sure that I improvise in the arena of drafting and conveyancing. So that's all for today's lecture. We'll meet in the next one. Thank you.